Hello everyone, welcome back to another Procreate tutorial where we are going to be drawing an axolotl today. So let's get started. If you don't know how to load in the reference photo here, I've made a separate video on how to prepare the canvas to follow along our tutorials. So go watch that first. I'll leave a link that you'll be able to click on that you can go watch that before you watch this. Now, next, the canvas size is 3000 by 3000 pixels. Also, I've got the grid lines set at 307 pixels, 307 pixels that will match your reference photo to your canvas here. All of the things that you will need to follow along with this tutorial are in a free download over on Gumroad. I've set it up where it is completely free, although you also have the ability to tip $1 or $2 if you enjoy these free tutorials that I bring to you every week. So, let's get started. I'm going to start off with do the Chamo Inker Streamliner right here, and I'm gonna just do my outline and stuff in black. So let's get started. We'll take a look at this right here, and you can use the grid lines to kind of get your dimensions correct. So I guess I'm gonna start on this body right here and maybe this hand. So that square, let me see if I can find where that square is. It is this one right here. So what I want is to start it about here. Oops, I got my brush way too big. Bring that down to about maybe 4%. Let me check. No, that's a little too small. Let me go up to about 8. Let me see what that is. Yeah, that's better. Okay, so I've got my brush at 8. Alright, so let's do this little arm here first. So I think I'm going to start about here. It's going to go up to about there. And it's going to cross over that square about right there. So starting here. And crossing right there. Alright, that's good. Okay, then I'm going to go ahead and down this part right here where his body's at. And that's going to come through about there. And actually it's going to go up, curve up a little bit. So, let me see, maybe I turn this way. There we go. I'm going to get rid of that little marker line I made. There we go. Okay, so we've got that part done. Let's do the other side of his body over here. So that is here. So we're going to go over to the next line, which is here. And then a little bit over. Maybe here. Down to there. I crossed over a little bit too far, but can clean that up with my eraser tool. Alright, so we got that. Let's do this other arm coming out. So it's going to come up about right there and meet over. About like that's good. It don't have to be perfect. It's still going to look good in the end. Alright, and let's get this head shape in. We're going to touch that body. We're actually going to come up a little bit over the arm there. You can see right there it goes up over a little bit over the arm. Alright, and I'm going to do the head is barely going to pass over this grid line here. And we're going to touch that line. And then we're going to go up about here. It's going to cross over this grid line. And cross back there. And that top point is about there. So I'm just going to do this one next. Yeah, that was much smoother and easier. Alright, okay, it's gonna come out his hand right here. Gonna go over here, cross about there, and then gonna meet up with that line up there, so. There we go. Now I can clean up all this little extra lines here. Yep. And this one here. Here we go. And maybe this too. I like doing those little reference lines. They really help out a lot, but man, they're a pain to erase. I was contemplating maybe putting those reference lines on another layer, which will make it a little bit easier to erase. But I don't know if that's going to save any time though. Okay, let's do these eyes. So we got one. I'm going to hold my pen down. That's good. And we get another one. About there. Again, hold my pen down. It's not as big as I wanted it, so I'm going to edit the ellipse here. I'm going to drag it up. Maybe make it a little wider. Yeah, I think that's better. And then you tap on your canvas to make it go away. Alright, that's good. Let's put his mouth in. So it's going to go down, up, down, and then maybe finish around right there. So yep, it's good enough. Like I said, it doesn't have to be perfect. We get this neck line coming over here, and it would kind of imagine if this head was like a continuous line. So I'm going to kind of follow along right there to make it look like it was supposed to be. Your mind will look at it as a complete circle. And I erased my mouth some way, and it's gone. So we have to do that one again. Alright. Okay, let's put these little eyelashes in. Okay. And then 3 over here. Yep. Good enough. Alright, let's do this leg. I'm going to put off those head things until later. They're going to take a little bit of time. Let's do this leg here. So we got the leg coming up about here. Maybe like that. And then I think that's pretty good. It's about like that. And if you wanted to, you could hold your pen down and make that a really nice curve. Alright, and let's do the foot here. So we're going to start about down here and go up. Like it crosses over. Maybe like that. Yep. Clean this up here. And that one. Here we go. Okay, and then we have this. Let me make sure these are connected here. Oops, I'm still on my eraser. There we go. And then let's get this line right here. Just about like that. And it looks like we have another little line right there. Okay, there's 1 foot in. Let's do this other foot over here. It's going to be coming out of his tummy. About right there. It's going to cross over that little junction right there, and then it's going to come back in. Maybe there. All right. Okay, and then about like that. And then we're just gonna connect those two. And we got a little line like that. Now, I think that is good for that foot. Okay, what should we do next? Let's get his tail in right here. So I'm coming out about right here. And we're going to cross through there, and then maybe there. I think that's good. Erase this. Okay, and then it's going to come across and then connect about there. Like that. I'm going to do this tip of this tail better. That's not better. That's okay. Let me clean this. Alright, that's better. Okay, there's his tail. Alright, and then the part I've been putting off. Let's get these little ear things in here with a lot of details. So we'll turn him sideways. Okay, we're gonna come. Let's get this main tooth looking shape in first. No, I got my eraser on. Up. And connect there. Yep, I like it. Let's get this other one in. Maybe like that. Okay. I'm going to fix that width of that line. This is bugging me here. That's good. Okay. Another one. Another horn. Coming right in the center of that 2 squares there. We're going to come up to about here. And then we're going to connect over here. So about like that. Okay, let's start putting these little leafy looking things on here. Make sure all these lines are closed. Okay. That one. Here we go. That's good for that one. They're just like kind of like flower petals in a way. Okay, this one's gonna come out about here. Touch that other one and go to about right there. Alright. Good. We got two more. One there and then a little one. Right there. Okay, that's good. Let's do this last one here. So we're going to come out about there. I'm not really trying to follow my sketch perfectly on these, because as long as they're touching and they're close to looking like the sketch, good enough for me. Okay, this one, that. Okay, and yeah, I think that's good. Okay, let's look at this other side of his head. Let's get these horns in first again like we did last time. So I'm going to come out about here and go up to about right there. Yep. Okay, this other one right there. It's going to tip up. It's going to be right in that junction of that grid line right there. And it's going to come back to about there. Just like that. Okay, and this last one. Let me see here. It's going to come out here. Go about there. And then it's going to come to about right there. You know what? I don't like this side of it. The other side of it's good, but I want it to come more closer up. Like that. Okay, let me fix this. And maybe thin this out a bit. Okay. Alright, let's put the little petals, flower petals on these. So, oh, I'm on my eraser again. Like that. Okay. Okay, and the one on the end. And one more. Okay, it's good enough. Okay, this one. It'll be kind of tight. Really close to that one right there, so. Like that, and then I'm going to have this one intersect it and come around like that. Okay, this one comes out to about there. And we got the one on the end. Okay, that's good. One there. Another one there. One more. Alright, and this last one. You got a tiny one. That one's kind of funny shaped, isn't it? Mine's a little bit more rounded. Okay, and then the one on the end. Okay, and then over here. Over there. And one more. Okay, guys, we got all those in. Okay, let me see. What else can we do here? I think we can put this wavy shape here on the outside in. So I'm going to okay, and then we're going to come there. Yeah. That's better. Okay, and then about right there. All right. This is another one where I'm not going to worry if it's perfect as long as it's close. You fix this and this. So that got a little bit thin. Put that back in. Alright, and looks like we got another little wavy thing in here in the middle. So I don't think that's gonna be an outline. This is gonna be a color right there. I think that is all of the sketch that we need to do. Let's see if I've missed anything. I don't think so. That other line here in the middle is also going to be just a coloring. So we're not going to worry about that. We're just going to do that with a color. Okay, so let's go ahead and drag in the black for the eyes. That can be part of our outline. Just drag and drop those two eyes in there. And I think that is going to be it. So what we're going to do next is we're going to start dropping in some colors. So what you should do is go in here, so you'll have your line layer that we just did. Start a new layer and drag it under your line layer, and that's going to be where our colors are going to go. So for this layer above it, if you want to, you can rename it, and we'll just scratch that out and write in line. Okay, and then here, this is going to be our colors, so we can rename this one to color. And then we're going to set our line layer, so click on it and set it to reference, and then go back to your color layer here. So what that's going to do is we're going to drag and drop our colors onto this layer, but it's going to use the above layer reference lines to tell it where to put the colors at. Okay, so for our colors, go to your palettes. I've given you an axolotl palette. The main body is going to be basically this gray color right here with some of these blue highlights. But the most part's going to be gray, so I'm going to do that first. And just drag and drop that whole gray in there. And then make sure you get this leg over here and this arm right there. Okay, and then the little things on its head on this side is going to be gray. So this is where I'm going to use the color drop. I'm going to drag and drop that in. I'm going to hit continue filling. And now all we got to do is tap it. And we can fill in all these other little shapes pretty quickly. If you drag and drop each one of those, that's going to take a long time. And then these over here are going to be this blue color, this first blue. So you're going to drag and drop those. I'm going to hit continue filling again. And then we're just going to tap all these. Just like that. Okay, and this shape down here under his body is going to be this blue color also. Just tap that. So I think that is basically all the coloring we're going to do. Let's go ahead and start putting in this shading and the blue parts that I told you about before. So what we're going to do is we're going to make a new layer on top of our coloring. And we're going to set that to clipping mask. I'm going to go ahead on the line layer here and turn off reference. So we'll be able to make closed shapes and then fill them in. So what I'm going to do is this little shape here on his tail or on his behind. That's going to be in the blue. So what I'm going to do is just kind of follow it. Alright, and then if we close this shape off, I don't think it's closed right there. Okay, now we'll be able to just drag and drop that blue in there. Okay, and then this shape on the tummy all the way down to the bottom of the tail is also going to be this blue. So we're going to start here. Alright, and then I'm going to close this shape off. Okay, and I'll be able to drag and drop that in. Okay, so that's that coloring part. Let's do this head part here. So it's kind of like a yin and yang symbol in a way. So start about here. Around the mouth. And meet up right there. And then, again, close this shape off. And then we can drag and drop that in. Alright. That is what we wanted. Now, let's change the background to black. Click on that. Click on the black. And we're done. Okay, so let's do some shading now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to combine this blue colors we did with this other color layer by just pinching them together. And now they're all on one layer. And what we're going to do is we're going to start a new layer on top of that. And this is going to be our shading. So if you want, you can rename it. I'm not going to rename it just to save time. And what we want to do is the gray portion here. I've got a blue and a darker and a gray and the darker. So what we're going to do is we're going to put in the shadows. So I'm going to do the gray first. So just click that darker gray. And then there's going to be a shadow that's going to go from his tail about here all the way up to about right here. So just about like that. And then it's going to have another one all the way up here by the hand, and just kind of follow the shape of his body. And it's going to account for that little line right there. Now if we close this shape off, we should be able to drag and drop that color in. Alright, let's see if it works. Yep. So there's the shadow on that. Okay, another place for a shadow will be kind of right here. About like that, in the bottom of his foot. Okay, and the bottom of this foot. And maybe a little bit right here on his knee. Okay, let's see. The bottom of this hand, a little bit. Okay, and then the neck here. Okay. What else do we got? Maybe right there. We'll make that go all the way across. It's kind of like his head is casting shadow under his neck. Alright, and then let's do some up here on these things. So we're going to do the bottom portion of them. Same thing with this one. And same thing with this one. Alright, and then these other things we're just going to do a kind of circle right in the center of them. About like that. We're going to do that for all of them actually. See how fast I can do this. Oop, I don't like that one. That's better. I don't want it touching the edges. Okay, that's good enough. Alright, and for the blue side, let's choose that darker blue. So that one right there. And then we're going to do the same thing on this side. Again on the bottoms. And right here. And then also in the center of these things, just like we did on the other side. Oops, let me close that one out. Okay. Just about like that. Okay, he's looking good. Okay, and for the shadow on the blue, let's do this one right here. So it's just gonna be a up and down wavy kind of thing. So don't worry about how perfect it is. Just do a little wavy line and touch it about there. Close it up, drag and drop it in, and you are golden. Okay, on the top one here also. So this one right here. So I'm going to start here and just do just like that. And then close this one off. Drag and drop that in. And I think he's about done. Let's put some highlights on him. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do another layer on top of that. And we're going to change to white. And we're going to do a highlight on his head here. About like that. We're going to do some maybe on his knee here. That's good. Maybe on his toe over there. And then in the eyes, we're going to do, oops, okay, so the eyes, remember, they're on the line layer, so we need to go above the line layer to make that show up. Okay, so I'm just going to do a little oval here. And maybe a dot. Just about like that. Okay, I think he is done. Now what we're going to do is we're going to put some bubbles in. So choose this gray color. And I'm going to do these on a whole new layer. So I'm going to go above everything else. It don't really matter. We're not going to be touching the little axolotl anyway. And let's just make a circle. Hold your pen down, touch it with your finger, and it's going to make a perfect circle. And that's just going to be a bubble. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take the white, and we're going to put a little shine on it, like a little oval. Like that, and then like that. And that's just going to be a bubble. And we're going to do some more of these. So choose the gray again. Let's do a small one here. Let's put another one up here. We'll do one up here. Okay. Maybe a big one here. Okay, maybe a small one here. You can put them anywhere you like. And one more. Okay, and then go back to your white again. And just we're going to put these little shines in them. Alright, let me turn off drawing guide, get rid of that reference photo, and there you have it, guys, our finished product. So I hope you've enjoyed this drawing tutorial. If you have not subscribed yet, please do so. It really helps the channel out. Hit that like button, share it with your friends, and I will see you guys next week with another Procreate tutorial. Keep creating and see you next week.